CP340 Networks and Security, Section number 3. Identifying security risks in a program code. Topics 3.1 Identify components of physical security. 3.2 Core security principles. 3.3 Server protection. Components of physical security. Disabling I/O ports, which limit a user's access to a physical system. Example, someone could walk up with a USB stick and take information from your computer. So if you're not using the port, you should disable it. This could go with your HDMI ports, VGA, stuff like that. Kingston locks is another means of security. These locks are placed into your laptop or your desktop to prevent someone from stealing it. Mostly these just deter people from taking it, since a one good pull could just break the case of your laptop, allowing them to take it. I have a video here that I could show you.
Lock.
Just on the left.
Computer lock. Test one.
You just see one good yank just destroys the plastic off of it. I'll get this going again. Okay. Case intrusion detection. I've seen this with Dell cases where there's a switch on the back of the case. I believe there's some way with a motherboard as well that could activate it, which shows that someone went in your case and messed with it. These are actually pretty helpful. I like the idea of it, especially in a workplace or something like that. Securing the security room, only allow people that are trusted into the server room. Layered access, only people with the right authority can get into the physical hardware. Employee scan cards are helpful. Security at the door is another option. And monitor access with audio and video surveillance in case someone of authorization and access decides to cause damage. These are all good ways to secure your server room. Store backups somewhere else. Make sure your data backups for servers are not stored in the same room or building as the original data. If this is done well, you always have a backup to refer to if something goes wrong, like flooding or a fire, your HVAC failed, stuff like that. 3.2 Outline core security principles. User has minimal privileges. This could be read, write, or execute privileges, and access certain areas of programs. An example would be from one of our classes involving CentOS 7, where on setup we had to change the permissions, so we could do read, write, and execute. So I believe that's 777. Yeah. On the right is just a picture that shows an example of it. User input programs. You shouldn't trust the user's input. This could leave you open to SQL injection or password leaking, stuff like that. Best practice is to limit available input options that are expected. If this is not possible, validate the user's input to ensure it contains what is expected. Plans for failure. Keep backups and update them on a routine basis. Planning for failure can include regular backups of data, checking up on overall health of the systems, and training new staff with drills of what to do when a problem comes up. Some issues that would happen would be loss of power, overheating, and flooding, stuff like that. Disabled unused system features. Some attack surfaces could be unmonitored, unused features such as insecure SSH features, internet-facing code, backwards compatible libraries and systems, custom APIs and files for external sources. Securing systems against attack is extremely important and should not be taken lightly. 3.3 Server protection. HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. HVAC. Without a proper cooling setup on a server, you are not going to have a server for long, so this is really important to have. IP, server certificate, passwords, and connection strings. Server security is important to have over company's IP. Certificates for connecting to other systems needs to be guarded, as well as these can let potential hackers gain access to otherwise secure systems. Passwords and connection strings need to be watched since they could be used to destroy the system in the wrong hands. Encrypted at rest. Data at rest is data that is not currently moving through a network or being used at the moment. One example of this would be your hard drive. This terminology is used by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, which are in charge of implementing the breach notification rule. Don't trust a client. Trusting clients' input can lead to problems such as SQL injection and other various exploits that I mentioned earlier, and that could be found and abused in your system. Yeah. Okay, this is it. This concludes section 3.